Hey, what is up, everybody? Dirty coming at you with
DZAN. How's everybody doing today? It is Thursday, May 6th, 2021. How you doing, Dirty? That's how we doing.
A child over here. I'm being a 7-year-old child. Yeah. What is happening, everybody? DZAN, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Things not too big in MMA, but a lot of shifts happening last week.
We got a lot of news to get to, brother.
We do.
Got a lot of news.
I really wanted to first talk about.
Can I start this off with saying,
please,
to everybody, I have more videos to release. I just have not had time, but I promise as soon as I get a chance, I got some more cool videos coming here. We'll get them posted up there. So stay tuned, please. All right. I'm sorry to step on your toes there, sir.
Man. Diego Sanchez, man. Let's talk about Diego.
Legend.
Fucking
legend.
I'm so sad for him. I'm so fucking sad for him, man. I mean, even just after yesterday's, I don't know if you saw his video when he was crying to Dana.
Yeah,
man, it's tough to watch, man.
It's tough to watch. You know, I have two schools of thought on this. One is, you know, I've said this before, and you've heard me say this many times. I have like this love-hate relationship with Dana White.
Yeah.
There's times where I love Dana White. Usually when he's out there defending MMA.
Yeah, being funny as fuck.
And being funny, if you don't know, now you know. Shout out, Biggie. But then there's times like this where I want to punch him in the face, you know?
Yeah.
There's certain people in this world that you just let retire on their own.
Yes.
And Diego Sanchez, in my opinion, is that guy. With that said, I have to say, I get it.
Yes.
Because Diego has not looked like Diego in a long, long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that because, you know, I don't want to look like I'm besmirching him in any way because I love the legend of Diego Sanchez. So I'll just leave it at that. But
I mean, I think we can all agree that the main issue is Joshua Fabia. I mean, when we look at it like that, Diego hasn't been the same Diego. BJ Penn hasn't been the same BJ Penn for a long time.
Exactly.
And how long that Dana let him go because he's like, you know what, you go out when you want to because that's what he said. Yeah, but Diego's, you know, self-awareness coach that I'm so sad that I'm in the same vicinity as these people. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, man,
it messed his life up, man.
This con man just went into his life and just is taken piece by piece. And UFC could see that shit from a mile away. He was setting up a lawsuit. Come on, you don't ask for all of those medical records and in one hand say we're just doing this just in case he can't get it again, and then the other say, well, he has sustained a lot of blah blah blah. Come on, it can't be both ways. It's too obvious, and it's sad. It's sad that it's sad that Dana can't meet with Diego face to face.
Right.
But I think the main issue is because of his manager and how serious that was with the whole, you know, kind of litigation reach that just happened. It's I think business wise, it's in Dana's best interest to step away. But after seeing Diego first seeing that 10-minute video the other day, and then now yesterday's video, it just fucking kills me, man. It just really kills me to see that, you know, from the Tough One. And let's not forget Stephan Bonner is right there next to him from Tough One, and he's fallen in the same shit. I guarantee, you know, granted he's not a fighter anymore or any of that, but he's had his own troubles in his life, you know, and you know, he's letting Joshua get into his shit too. So it's really, really sad to see that this shit is happening to such a legend like Diego, and that we can't get a good ending to his UFC story, you know. It's got to end really sour, you know.
Well, and I think it's important to say, because you brought it up, you know, there's so many legends that have come out of Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just wish that somebody like Holly or John could have gotten a hold of him, Carlos, Somebody could have got a hold of him and said, dude, stop this.
Yeah.
Stop this. Get away from him. And I'll hook you up with my guy, or, let's find you somebody else. This guy's going to drag you down, And if you guys are not aware of what we're referring to, Diego, it was really revealed, I don't know, about a year ago, I'd say that was, he basically picked a farm animal to become.
Yep.
And I mean, to the point to where he literally got into the cage and he's doing like a rooster. Yeah. And it's a bad look, man. There's just no way to color that good. So, but at any rate, Diego Sanchez is a legend, and he is no longer with the UFC. That's the end of the story, really.
That's the end of the story there. And I mean, really the end of what was going to be an amazing fight card this Saturday, with TJ Dillashaw and Corey Sandhagen now out, and then now Diego Sanchez, Cowboy, out. They're looking for a replacement for Cowboy. Kevin Holland, Mr. Big Mouth, was talking that shit on Twitter. I thought that we were going to see something.
Not happening.
Dana White's like, no, he's still a little salty, a little mad at Kevin. So Alex Morono gets that ticket to fight Cowboy. So it's still going to be really good. We still have Michelle Watterson, Karate Hottie, again, out of the Duke City, fighting Marina Rodriguez. So going to be a really good fight. It's going to still be a good card, but man, sad to see that card break.
It is. But I mean, this is commonplace. And quite frankly, I think the UFC has done a remarkable job with COVID and everything else, governments. And exactly. So I tip my hat to the UFC for that. By the way, I think we would be remiss if we didn't mention the UFC talk is going to be a little shallow today, because we have a lot of other stuff to talk about. And certainly we've got some music news coming up.
Yes, sir.
Dirty is very excited about that.
So excited. Oh, yeah.
But we'll get to that.
As soon as I saw that info, I was like, oh yeah.
Oh boy. I will tell you, if you guys are not aware that are watching this, I have a Patreon channel. I have a reaction channel on YouTube, Metal Biker Dude.
Yeah.
And I have a Patreon channel for that. And I let all my patrons do all of my requests for me. I don't even remember how many, but I had so many private messages from people. Dirty, Cole's got an album coming. It's coming out the 14th. I mean, it just, my inbox just blew up. Yeah. So that's very cool, man. I've let my patrons guide my path. DZAN will tell you that. I've let them take me down the road that they want to go down. So that's really cool, though. Really excited about that. I'm sorry to jump ahead, but I just thought I'd point out the fact that it's a little shallow on UFC discussion today, but we have plenty of other stuff to discuss as well. So,
yes, sir. So the last thing I really had for UFC is Nate Diaz out. First, it was an unreported, undisclosed injury, but then sources said it was a back injury. I don't like that it's a back injury and that it's just being pushed back 1 month. So they're pushing it back to June 12th, and they're going to be the co main event in that one. Still going to be 5 rounds, but it's going to be right before the 2 rematches for the flyweight division and the middleweight division. So it just turned from a really good card to a fucking great card. I am concerned with Nate's injury, and I'm interested to learn more about exactly what happened. I don't think he's spoken out about it. Has he?
Not as far as I know. I watched Ariel and the Bad Guy.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, he hasn't said anything. That's Nate, though.
Yeah.
He's not going to talk about it a whole lot. He's not going to complain about it. That's just who Nate is. Yep. But he'll have plenty of excuses if he loses. But
yeah, that's right.
But it won't be because of injury. So
Right.
it's probably because whoever he fought was on steroids or something. I don't know.
Exactly.
We'll
Because they're
find
all on
out.
steroids, man. Everybody's on steroids, bro. They're all on it.
What about your Rat Pack? All
But that's
right.
it, man. That's really all I had, man. I
That's
mean,
what we got, you guys.
besides,
It was
we
a
got,
slow week, but we can't control that part of it. But that's the beautiful thing about this channel is we roll forward. We got plenty of other stuff to discuss. So, hey,
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. If you got something else, UFC.
I was just gonna say real quick with the Vegas 26 that's happening this Saturday. We will be getting our picks up. So make sure you guys are also following our Instagram and our Twitter at dirty_in DZAN DZAN. We will be posting our picks there.
Very important to note. DZAN and I have discussed some things. Not only will we be posting our picks there, be one to watch out for some polls coming at you.
Yes.
So
yes.
I think that you guys are going to enjoy some of these polls that we have lined up. So
we'll be bringing them into the pod. It's going to be really
fun. Make sure you are following Dirty and DZAN on Twitter and Instagram, and you can get in on those polls.
Yep.
So before we go any further, I know that the NFL is not your most passionate sport, but we would be remiss.
Go Cowboys.
I'm going to punch you in the face. There's only one team that I hate more than the Cleveland Browns.
Go Cowboys.
And you're not allowed to say that team on this podcast.
Oh, you know what? Next week, I'll make sure that I wear my boys hat. I got my boys shirt.
Yeah. Why don't you do
the boys?
Why don't you go ahead and skip next week and I'll do it myself.
No. Yeah, you're funny. Not going to happen.
Steeler gear.
Not going to happen.
But anyway, no. It was the draft this past week, and obviously everybody knows Trevor Lawrence went number 1 overall. We've known that for about 3 years. Whenever he decided to come out, that was going to happen. He's a tremendous talent. I made the comment a while back, and this is a few years ago, actually, that he looks like an NFL quarterback. I mean, he fits the part. And he's got a tremendous arm. Where I'm concerned is the same concern that I had for Joe Burrow last season. He's going to be playing for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We saw what happened with Joe Burrow in Cincinnati with no offensive line, nobody to throw to, no running game to speak of, and he got pummeled. He probably already took an extra year off of his career from his rookie season.
Mm-hmm.
I hope for Jacksonville's sake, and Urban Meyer is a smart man. I'm quite sure Urban's going to be very conscientious of that. With that said, I hope that same thing does not happen to Trevor Lawrence, because it's going to be a short career. And, these guys in the NFL, they're grown men, and some of them are very nasty football players, and they love to cause pain. And, it's like being in prison, man. New guy comes in, everybody's going to test him out. Yeah. Well, that's what's going to happen. They're going to see if you can take a hit, Trevor. And I just hope for their sake. And I believe that Urban Meyer knows enough to keep him out of harm's way as much as possible. So that's a big deal. We're not going to talk about the entire draft, but I do want to make mention of the fact that as a Steelers fan, I wasn't terribly happy with our draft. We desperately needed an offensive lineman in that first or second round. We didn't take one. Now we did get probably the best running back in the league, or in the draft, excuse me. It's obviously between Najee Harris, who went to the Steelers, or Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne has that breakaway speed, get you a home run, but he's not the best in between the tackles. Whereas Najee Harris is really good in between the tackles, lacks the breakoff speed. So now they clearly needed a running back, But I think as far as the future goes, knowing that Ben Roethlisberger is in the twilight of his career at best,
Right.
I would have thought that this would have been the year they would have bit the bullet, let Ben get them to 9-8 because they have the extra game now. It used to be 9-7, or maybe even 10-7. Get them in a position to where they could possibly make the playoffs, keep everybody happy, and then the following year we could worry about running back. But that's not the route they took. And they took a running back, Najee Harris, in the first round. In the second round, Pat Fryermuth, tight end out of Penn State. A swing and a miss. I love the pick. Is if we could have got him in the third round. Pat Fryermuth, in my opinion, was probably the best tight end in the draft. I know most of you are going to think Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is a converted wide receiver, in my opinion. He's not a true tight end.
Yep.
He's more of a David Njoku kind of player, whereas Pat Fryermuth is more of they call him Baby Gronk or Lil Gronk because he's a lot like Rob Gronkowski. But anyway, I'm terribly disappointed we didn't pick up an offensive tackle earlier than we did. But according to Kevin Colbert, the GM for the Steelers, they fully believe in their draft and everybody that they drafted. So I will say this. I have questioned the Steelers draft in the past, and it's actually always worked out pretty well. So I hope I'm wrong again. I don't think I am this time, based on what I said in regards to Ben being on his way out and things of that nature. So we'll leave that alone. But go ahead. No, you go ahead.
So for the Cowboys, it wasn't as good as last year, with getting we got a linebacker this year. So Micah Parsons, and really, I mean, after losing Zach Martin, Travis Frederick, I mean, the list goes on with how kind of deteriorated that the offensive line has been. It's good, but also bad for a first pick. It definitely wasn't as good as it could have been, but it's something
you guys are in the same boat, right? Yeah.
Something that we needed, right? It's more to fill the need than it is to get that extra thing that could push us forward. We're trying to cover up spots. I mean, we lost Dak in week 5, fucking not career, thank God, but season ending injury with his ankle, so we were fucked from the jump from that part. But I mean, and then just the roller coaster of dropping, losing more and more and more, all on the offensive line. We needed this. But yeah. So
I completely understand what you're saying.
Holes.
Yeah. And unfortunately, when you're a team like Pittsburgh or a team like Dallas or even the New York teams, generally speaking, not right now, but some of your upper echelon organizations that tend to spend a lot of money.
Right.
This is the unfortunate problem that tags along with that is, you tie your money up in these players, and when the holes come out or are exposed, you don't have the money, you don't have the cap space to fill it. So you got to go through the draft so you can get somebody on the cheap. The problem with that is that you get what you pay for normally.
Right.
And, the Steelers, they don't have the cap space to go out and get an offensive tackle. They don't have Dallas certainly doesn't have the cap space to do much of anything.
Right.
And
we had players giving up some of their salaries a few years ago.
Same Steelers this year.
Going,
Ben's contract. He just signed that new extension, and that was what, $15 million a year. I mean, for an NFL quarterback, I mean, that's a huge. He took one for the team.
Yeah.
And
And that's why I always
mad
respect
props for
Romo, no
that.
matter how much people want to talk shit about Romo.
Yeah.
Gave up
Romo was a
lot.
decent quarterback.
He gave up a lot to get Dak in there, a man that was taking his place. And he gave up a lot for that, which he knew it was going to be like his last season. So, man.
Hey, you know, I love shitting on the Cowboys whenever I can. But that's tongue in cheek stuff. I'm a realist too. And, you know, I know a good team when I see one, and I know a good player when I see one. And I always felt like Romo got the shaft, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because how many times have you seen Eli Manning won a freaking Super Bowl, man?
Mm-hmm.
You know, how many times have you seen a decent quarterback winning a Super Bowl? It happens all the time, because if you have the pieces around them and that fits the mold of that particular quarterback, in this case, and especially quarterback, if you can build the proper team around them, they don't have to be Joe Montana or modern day Patrick Mahomes. They don't Mahomes. They don't have to be that guy. Look at Kansas City, for example, what we've been just talking about with the in regards to the salary cap. I promise you, KC fans, 3 or 4 years from now, you are effed in the worst way possible. You guys got so much money tied up in 3 players. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work. You're going to pay that toll's going to come and due. You're going to have to pay the bill. And that's the problem that we're all in now. Everybody's short of New England. Belichick is really good about getting people on the cheap, but then again, they don't look so good right now.
Right.
New England, I'm referring to. So, I'm not saying that he can't do it again. And I'm not saying he's not a big part of the reason why they did it, but it is awfully suspect that the past 2 seasons, when Brady had no protection the year he was there, and had nobody to throw to, he had nobody to run the ball, that the team was garbage. And then now he goes to a different team, first year wins a Super Bowl. Belichick doesn't even make the playoffs. So, I know there are a lot of extenuating circumstances. There's no reason to even get into that. The reality is that I just spoke facts.
Yep. All of that happened. Yes. All of that happened. Exactly. Yep.
Right. So at any rate, that's good. We wanted to cover a little bit of NFL here today, because it's the most watched sport in the country. So we thought it was worthwhile talking about the draft a little bit. And then we're going to, might as well slide this in right now, DZAN. I did want to discuss a little bit about the NHL very briefly, only because there's 2 to 3 games left for most teams in the regular season. Playoffs will be starting. As you guys know, I'm a big Detroit Red Wings fan, for obvious reasons. But this year, well, actually the past 2 or 3 years, I've been following Carolina Hurricanes, because one of their goalies is Peter Mrazek, who used to be the goalie for Detroit. And his first game that he ever played was in the minor league system in Toledo, which is where I had season tickets to. So his very first recorded professional game was in Toledo. And I actually was sitting right behind him for 2 periods.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So I've been a big fan of Peter Mrazek. He's a very feisty goaltender, and he puts up shutouts all the time. He's been injured all year this year. He's only played 9 games.
Doing?
He's got 9 games. 3 of those games he's got a shutout. So that means
the other team gets nothing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know.
Yeah,
I
so
don't know
out of the 9 games,
but
33% of the games he's played this year, he has not given up a goal. So
wow.
Now, granted, it's a small sample size, but nevertheless, he's a very underrated goalie, and I think that because he's going to be a free agent after this season, I think that he would be wise to test the market, because I got a feeling there are a lot of other teams that have been paying attention to him, because here's the thing is Carolina has a young quarterback. I keep saying quarterback, a young goaltender. Yeah. Well, that's kind of what a goalie is in a way,
right?
But he's been, his name is Alex Nedeljkovic. Believe it or not, he's from Columbus, Ohio. His last name is Nedeljkovic.
Stipe Miocic.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, a lot of Ohio and Russians and
right?
Czech Republicans and all that. But at any rate, this Alex Nedeljkovic, he's playing really well. So most likely the writing's on the wall for Peter Mrazek in Carolina. But I got to believe that he's going to land in a team and probably get a longer term contract. So I'm excited for Peter for that. That'd be really dope if it ended up back in Detroit, but because his girlfriend still lives there, which is really cool. Yeah. So
how's your team doing this year? You making the playoffs?
Detroit or Carolina?
Detroit.
Oh, Detroit. No. They're in the middle of a rebuild. Actually, I say the middle, they're actually more in the beginning of a rebuild. Last year, they set a team record for the worst Red Wing team ever.
How long have they been in a rebuild? You know, the Raiders have been in a rebuild since 2003.
And so have the Browns. Well, actually, the Browns have been in a rebuild since 1950 something, but I digress. I could not help myself, but it's a fact. I'm spitting fact here. That's all. But at any rate, no, Detroit's they're probably another 2 years away from even being
but the Hurricanes in hockey, going to the playoffs.
Hurricanes right now, they're the number 1 seed in the NHL.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 1 team
right now. So it's going to come down to the wire for sure. But yeah. They're scary, good looking team right now. So very, very excited about that. Plus I would love for Florida to make the playoffs, because it's a 45-minute drive for me, and I get to see some playoff hockey. So that would be really cool. They're going to make the playoffs. What would be really dope is if Carolina had to play them in the first round, because I get to see Carolina play them down here, probably maybe 3 times if it goes 7 games. So, but at any rate, that's our hockey talk, our NFL talk right there. And now I believe we're going to go ahead and step into some music. And
did you hear the drumming on the table, the obnoxious drumming on the table?
No, I did not. But
that just shows how good of a microphone
it's well warranted, because J. Cole, the 14th,
the off season. It's happening.
Yes.
And how about that album cover? Dope. Fuck. Love it. Wow. I love the album cover.
That's got to be incorporated in a video or two.
Absolutely. Yeah. I am so excited. It's been,
you guys, I haven't been this excited about an album drop in 20, 30 years. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. I have been anticipating this. Well, a big part of the reason is because he's been teasing it for forever. He needs punched in the nose for that. He was driving everybody nuts. But we're here. Nevertheless,
it's been 3 years since Middle Child. 3 years.
It has. Now he's dripped a little here and there, but yeah.
Man. And KOD was so good, man. KOD was so good. Such a good album. I'm really excited for this. Off season 14th. They haven't talked anything about track listing or anything like that.
I haven't seen anything like that.
Yeah, no, nothing about that. It's just
which is really dope, because then it's everybody's walking into it cold.
Yep. Yeah.
So that's really dope, man. I am so excited about that. I'm gonna save you guys the suspense over on Patreon if you're watching. We will be doing that, and it won't be a PayPal. That one's on Dirty's. That one's on Dirty's dime.
So funny. But if anybody from Patreon is watching here too right now, That's happening, but we need to get this dude to finally fucking do Music to Be Murdered by Side B. I'm sorry.
Oh,
It's
I
been
forgot
too
about
long.
that.
It's been too fucking long. People, hound
Yeah.
this man. Hound this
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. First of all,
I
how
forgot
dare
about
you?
that. Yeah. You're right.
How
No,
dare
I
you?
got that coming to me. I got that
Yeah. Well,
coming.
I know somebody better be hitting you up about that lyric video that just dropped the other day. So I know you're going to be doing a lyric video soon.
I saw it.
I know it.
I did it.
No, Dirty. Alfred's theme just dropped yesterday.
Oh,
You want to know the song because it's on side B. But so it's a
okay.
song you haven't heard. Lyric video.
Did you
dope.
see the
It's
lyric
better than the
video?
last lyric video.
Did you see the lyric
Oh,
video?
yeah.
Oh, that was
Oh,
the
yeah.
coolest
And
lyric video ever.
it's just like this, but it's really centered on that Alfred Hitchcock theme, that 50s almost comic style look to
Right.
it.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
really
Like
good. It's really
like a
fucking
DC
good.
Comics kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's really fucking good. It's funny. It's good. It's Eminem. It's Eminem. But yeah. Sorry
Stepping
to take
Stone.
a little bit off of the. Yes. Oh yeah. You did Stepping Stone. Yeah. Stepping Stone.
At any rate, so yeah, I mean, clearly we have to do that. What was the name of it again?
Man. Music to Be Murdered by Side B.
No.
You heard side A.
Song.
You heard the first one.
The
Alfred's theme.
Alfred's theme. Yeah.
That is the lyric video. It just came out yesterday. So, and then that's one of the singles of the week. But before we get into that, I know we have J. Cole. It's pretty much GOAT season right now, man. We had some things on Twitter. The same man that pretty much leaked out Music to Be Murdered by Side B a week before Eminem dropped the album. He posted on Twitter a collection of albums that he had worked on, and Music to Be Murdered by Side B was sitting on that picture a week before it came out. Everybody was like, what is this? What is this picture that says deluxe edition? And there it was. Then a week later, it came out. Well,
Gotcha.
Now he's doing some cryptic shit where he posted a picture of Dr. Dre, Kendrick Lamar, and Eminem all together. And I don't quite remember what the caption said, but Paige Kennedy, who we know he works with Hip Hop DX, but he's also kind of in with the Shady Gang, and he is posting some cryptic shit on there and saying that he's heard Detox a few years ago. This was a tweet a few years back that's now resurfacing because of this photo. So the rumor mill is that Dre's Detox, which, I mean, since I was a kid, okay, since I was a teenager, this was a rumor, okay, that in 2004, when you listen to Eminem Encore 2004, you go to track 20 and you listen, and at the end of that song, he says, Dre Detox, it's coming. We're going to make Dre do it. Never happened. Then we get Compton in 2015. That wasn't our Detox.
Wow.
Detox is still coming. And we're thinking that Eminem, Kendrick is going to be a big part of it. Everybody knows.
So if you guys are not
writers,
if you guys are not aware in regards to me, I have my favorites, right? I have my top 5, top 3, top 10.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that one of the first things that I ever heard was Dre. It was certainly the first thing that I heard that I went, wow, I have been missing out.
Right.
That the Chronic absolutely blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
It blew me away.
Yeah.
And because of that, I have been in Dre's corner big time. And even to the point to where people have pushed back on me, especially on YouTube, but people pushed back on me with Dre and stuff. And I knowing that whoever's pushing back on me probably has forgotten more than I'll ever know about rap and hip hop. I don't care. I still take that battle on because I love Dre to that level.
Yep.
I think that Dr. Dre, when it's all said and done, is going to go down as the GOAT.
Yeah.
I know that it's not cool to say that now. It certainly hasn't been cool to say that in 10 years. But I believe when everything is washed away and all you're left with is the memories of Dr. Dre, I truly believe that is the way it'll roll out. And, that may be as in little as 5 to 7 years from now,
Right.
Especially with Dre's health problems,
Yep.
I'm a huge fan of Dr. Dre's productions. And I know he's not the world's greatest rapper, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I anything Dre does, I'm into.
Listen, he has some of the world's greatest right for him. So he does amazing in the rapping department.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
right.
Granted, he doesn't write his own stuff, but you know what? He's a producer, he's an engineer, and when he raps, he knows how to flow. Whether you know what I mean, he has whether he has the elite writing for him or not. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And the reality is that anytime you're in a band, and I'm speaking from the rock and roll side of things, what I have a lot of experience with, everybody's got input.
Yeah.
And I understand that rap and hip hop is a different thing, especially with certain artists,
Right.
Wayne and Kendrick and Cole, they're doing strictly their own stuff. I get that. But the fact is that, this is since the dawn of time of music, there's been collaboration. So
Yep.
I don't look down my nose at that, because it's all about how that music makes me feel. At the end of the day, that's all that matters to me.
Yes.
I don't care who wrote it. All I know is that when Dre puts his name on something, it's going to be a killer.
Yeah.
It's going to be an absolute killer. And I never doubt that. And I you can make the argument that he's fallen off or whatever, but you also say the same thing. Everybody that says that also says the same thing about Lil Wayne.
Yep.
Listen, you'd be hard pressed to find somebody that has platinum, like Dre, and then Wolf on one small little aspect of his game. And
right.
I don't fall into that trap. It's a trap.
Yeah.
It's just a way for us to hate on somebody, and I refuse to hate on Dre. I won't do it.
Yep.
I refuse to hate on Dre.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, I mean, GOAT season is out. We know Cole's coming out. We might be seeing something at the end of this year by Dre, maybe by Kendrick. It's about damn time we hear something from Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, man, it's just
that was another one. That was another one. To Pimp a Butterfly.
Oh yeah,
that one really changed a lot for me internally, and I'll tell you why. Because I didn't really fully appreciate it at first, because I'm thinking this is West Coast, it's going to be G-Funk. So I'm climbing into that frame of mind. Right. And then I heard it and I'm like, man, this is not Dre. This is not G-Funk. This isn't West Coast. This is different. And but the biggest takeaway was at the end of the album, I remember just my mind being blown by his bars. And I think that I did it to myself because I was expecting a certain thing and I got something else. And so maybe I didn't take to it as much as I am now, because now I have to Pimp a Butterfly is absolutely one of my top 5 favorite albums of all time, rap and hip hop albums of all time.
100%. Listen, Good Kid, Mad City was a classic, but when you think about something that has altered thoughts on social issues and shit going on in the world and really speaking to the generation, right? Generations that matter, to Pimp a Butterfly is that, it's also a classic but it's that on top of it. It has amazing message after amazing message, and the way he ties in every single track, and at the end you realize it's an interview with Pac, and
right.
such a just the concept of To Pimp a Butterfly. You hear that, what is that? You look at the cover, what is this? What is this? And then you dive into the bars, and you, after your fifth listen of the whole album, you start to understand what the
which is what I was getting at. Is
right.
It's that is not an album like The Chronic or Doggy Style or Marshall Mathers, where you just get it. It's too deep to get it like that.
Right.
Which is what happened to me, because after my second listen, I'm like, wow, this is even better than I thought. Then the third one, I'm like, wow, it's even better than I thought the second time. And that just kept happening.
Yes.
And that's definitely one of those. Good Kid, Mad City, phenomenal album. I know that there are people out there that actually like that more.
Yeah. I think it is because they haven't listened to Pimp a Butterfly enough, right? And maybe they only listened to a few King Kunta, they probably only listened to a couple on that album.
Right.
But I mean, Good Kid, Mad City, you got Drake on that bitch. You got Swimming Pools. Come on. It's
Swimming Pools. That I actually think I heard that before I listened to Good Kid, Mad City. Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, I think I think I listened to that before I listened to the album. Yeah. So
it's hit after hit on that fucking album, man. Really. It really fucking is.
So deep.
But with To Pimp a Butterfly, you got to be in that mode. You got to be in that mood. It's a different type of listen, and I can see why people have Good Kid, Mad City over it, but lyrically it can't touch it. To be honest, it really can't. It's his best album.
Could not agree.
Lyrically, it's his best album. But ears, sonically, I will play Damn more than both of those albums combined. Sonically,
right?
It's easy to listen to. It's catchy. He knows what he's doing. This is why he's a genius. He knows what he's doing. He's giving you everything. He opens up with the hip hop classic. He dives deep. And then he gives the mainstreamer something that they can listen to constantly. So
here's a great segue for everybody out there listening. By the way, thank you for watching here. Appreciate it. Next week, and this is news to DZAN.
Hit me with it.
Next week, we are going to go over our top 10 favorite hip hop rap artists of all time.
Start working on that.
I have been getting hit up for that conversation since I started that channel 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I kept threatening to do it. DZAN can tell you that. I kept threatening to do it, and I've yet to do it. We are going to do that next week.
Hell yeah.
So tune in.
Yeah.
We are going over our top 10 favorite rap hip hop artists of all time. And I think it'll create some good fireworks.
Oh, hell yeah. Some nice conversations in the comment section below.
Oh, I'm sure that'll light up.
Healthy conversations. Singles of the week, Dirty. We got to talk about some singles of the week. First of all, as you know, Alfred's theme, the lyric video, Eminem came out. So that's obviously on top of the list. Joyner Lucas and Lil Baby.
Really?
My God. OJ.
We haven't done a Joyner Lucas song in a long time.
Listen, it is so fucking catchy. It is so fucking good.
Really?
I love it, man. I love it. Joyner, when he falls in these he's been doing this as of late, where he does this harmonizing as he's rapping. And he picks this up from M in a way where he can switch into any flow he wants, given the measurement of the song, but he can hit any pocket. But now he's adding on this little twang of having that harmony as well. So then when he's doing these flows, it's also harmonizing. You just want to hit replay and replay and replay. And Lil Baby keeps up with him. I will say it's not the highlight, but it's a great fucking track. definitely one everybody should listen to. And it came out with a music video. So that one is a music video
sweet.
that came out. So you guys got to check that out. OJ and Ramen, Jordan Lucas featuring Lil Baby. And then a big one I wanted to talk to. I know this isn't Dirty's, cup of tea, but for all my Click members out there with 21 Pilots, I have a theory. Now, everybody knows that Choker just came out, the music video for Choker that's going to be on the new album Scaled and Icy, coming out May 21st, which me, my sister, we got the tickets for the virtual experience. I'm so fucking excited for that.
Wow,
so
right
we're
on.
going to be watching that. But the Choker, let's talk about this real quick. For anybody who understands even a little bit about the storyline and kind of the background of what's happening with Josh and Tyler and Dima, I have this weird theory that we're almost looking at not a prequel to Trench, but almost like,
oh, really?
Things are being reenacted. If the music video that Dirty actually reacted to, the 121 Pilot song that he reacted to, in that music video, there was a visual of a bishop riding on a horse to capture him as he was trying to escape Dima. He was escaping Dima, and he has this drawer full of sunflowers, which is symbolizes the amount of times that he's escaped and have seen real life and has brought something back real.
That's heavy duty.
Right. He's captured again. He's face to face with this bishop. He runs from this bishop as hard as he can, falls, gets captured, and is dragged back to Dima. Okay. In this music video in Choker, it starts up with him going into a toy store, looking around, but Josh doesn't seem to recognize him. This doesn't usually happen in their videos. They know each other. They give each other high, their specific high fives, and they know each other. This leads me to almost believe it's almost a clone of themselves. In the last music video, you see clones of them in ripped ski masks. And now we have kind of this version of Tyler walking in here, and Josh is not recognizing him right off the bat. Josh is playing the shopkeeper, and Tyler's kind of looking around, and he sees this little toy dragon that he wants really bad. But the shopkeeper is drumming away, not listening to him, not paying attention to anything. Tyler's like, hey, over here, like, yo, I want this. And he's not paying him any mind. So Tyler's walking around. He sees a dog in the corner. He keeps looking around. He waits for the shopkeeper to have his back turned, and he tries taking the dragon, and he runs out the store. And as he's running out of the store, Josh comes from out of nowhere with a net gun, shoots him with the net gun, and drags him back to the store. And then as the music video ends, in the case, you see the little dragon and Tyler as a toy. Like as if he was turned into the toy in this music video.
So we have dragons and net guns and acid and
Look, Tyler he gives these character names. You haven't even seen Ned. Look, people, if Dirty has,
I'll be honest with you,
knew what Ned was.
I'll be honest with you, brother. I don't remember that video at all. As you were explaining that, I don't know why. I mean, probably because I've literally seen 500 or 600 videos now, but but I don't remember that at all. So, but
they really mimicked that in a way, and it was really kind of telling that he likes to give objects meaning. He gives them. This dragon is called Trash. It's Trash the Dragon. And if you're really thinking about it, this dragon almost symbolizes creativity and what it means to be creative. And if he can just snatch that and grab that and take that creativity away, the song is called Choker. He chokes on opportunities. Mm-hmm. So then he gets caught and dragged back away, losing that, creativity, that creation. That is what I feel. They do this deep shit in a lot of their videos. And like I said before, if you haven't been following them since Blurry Face or even before that, it wouldn't make too much sense other than, hey, that's a really cool music video. But they always do this, kind of this sub meaning of what it is. And what I feel is Josh and Tyler are captured by the bishops. They are currently being held in Dima. And these bishops are forcing them to spit out propaganda and misinformation about how great Dima is to live in and how everybody should live in Dima. Dima is depression, Dirty. So just so you know, that's what Dima symbolizes. Dima symbolizes, this kind of dark place, this depression era, kind of spot to be in this really low place. And so the last two music videos, it was really cheery and chippery. And you see these symbolisms, their logo went away and it's this new logo. Well, I believe that that's the Bishop's logo for their religion. They have a religion called Vialism, which is just about light. It's just light. You know what I mean? And
we're down the rabbit hole.
We're down the rabbit hole, Dirty. We're down the rabbit hole. But anybody who's a Click member that's listening right now is in with me. They're honed in. And I think I'm onto something here, but we'll have to wait and see kind of what else unfolds here.
Stop 1 second. Okay, go ahead.
But we have to see what unfolds.
You'll see why I wanted to stop for a second when the video comes out.
All right, beautiful. Beautiful. Awesome. All right, guys. That's all I had for that. We'll see what happens with that, but that's really all I had on the music side. Those are the singles of the week. Check that shit out.
Just for shits and gigs, since we're doing that next week, we're going to do our top 10. In this video, why don't you give us yours?
My top 10?
And no. The viewers in the comment section, hit us up with your favorite, your top 10.
Yes, please.
I'm really curious
to see.
I am a student of this stuff now. I completely get why DZAN is into 21 Pilots, because that's essentially what rap and hip hop is all of the layers and the angles and different ways of approaching a lyrical journey. And that sounds like what that is. But I have become a bit of a student here of rap and hip hop. And part of the collecting of information that I do is just talking to people about, your favorites and why you like it and all of that. So
yeah,
if you guys would give us your top 10, that would be really cool. I'm going to look through those.
Yeah, man.
We'll both look through them. Yeah.
When I think about my top 5, it's hard, right? But top 10, I almost feel like some of them are interchangeable because there's so many great fucking rappers. But I'm gonna really dial it in.
Yeah, it's a subjective thing for anybody to do.
Yeah,
it's so subjective. DZAN, any of my patrons, they've heard me say a gazillion times, music is art and art is subjective. There's no wrong answer here. But it's interesting and it's fun to do, because a lot of times what ends up happening is somebody else will give you their top 10 and you're going, and this guy's out of his fucking mind.
Yeah, there's no fucking way. What are you listening to?
Which is probably what's going to happen to me.
I'm excited.
You guys are probably going to think of what the fuck is wrong with Dirty. But that's kind of the beauty of it all is we get to exchange that information. So
yes,
please hit us up on in the comment section. At least give us your top 3 or 5. But if you'd give us your top 10, that'd be really dope, man. So that's all I got, brother.
That's all I got, man. It was a good week. Good week. I'm excited for next week. Yes. And don't forget about the picks, UFC Vegas 26. There's actually a lot of good fucking fights coming out. Maurice Green's coming back. Amanda Hebus is coming back. Cowboys Cerrone.
She is the nicest person ever.
She is Dirty, but I can't stand her voice. Listen, I would watch her all day on
sweetheart.
I can't, Dirty. I can't.
She's an absolute
doll. She sounds like a dick. I can't.
Maybe second to Holly Holm. Holly Holm is a sweetheart too. So.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, that's all I got.
But and also don't forget to pay a lookout for the poll too. The polls.
Yes.
So,
yes.
At least one poll. At least one poll this week for sure. So head over there, vote on those two. But hit your top 10 in there, and we will see you guys next week.
Peace out, guys.
Peace.